I'm going to show you every single step that I took in order to transform my life as a gamer, allowing me to find the balance between improving at the games that I love while also improving myself at the same time, and how you can do it too. Now, in order for me to do this, we're going to have to rewind a bit. A couple months back, I was at the lowest I've ever been. I had busted my ankle and I couldn't do anything. This led me to fall into the biggest rut I'd ever been in my life. I put on a ton of weight, I lost all my motivation to go to the gym, make videos, and even played video games. I almost felt numb, like nothing mattered, and all I wanted to do was sit in my bed and rot. And that's a fucking terrible way for you to live your life. Eventually, I was able to walk again, but that empty feeling didn't leave. And that was when I finally decided enough was enough, and it was time for me to stop feeling sorry for myself and start getting my life back on track. So I set out and made a challenge for myself. I was gonna hit Radiant for the first time on a fresh account, while also getting in the best shape of my life. And I was gonna document all this for you guys to see. Very ambitious, I know. But if you're gonna set goals for yourself, fuck it, you might as well make them big, right? Now, the real question is, how was I gonna achieve this? Well, first, I needed to get clear on what it actually was that I wanted. And after taking some time, I realized that was to get in the best shape possible while also improving and ranking up in Valorant. Okay, now that I was clear on what I wanted, I needed to come up with a weekly routine that was gonna help me get there. I did this by purchasing a cheap whiteboard and notebook so that I could write down my daily routine into a checklist. To make sure that I was consistent with this, I decided that every single Sunday night, I would take 20 minutes and map out my entire week ahead of time. Doing this allowed me to never have to worry about what I had to get done each day of the week. And now that my entire challenge was mapped out, the next thing I needed to do was come up with an exercise routine that I could stick to. I decided that I was going to train 5 days a week, consisting of weight training and cardiovascular work. And this is what my program ended up looking like. Now, you don't need to go 5 days a week, you could go as little as 3, whatever works for you and your schedule, and it's something you think you could be consistent with and stick to. And to help you find a routine you can stick to, I'll put some up right now. Because my goal was to lose fat and regain the muscle I had previously lost, I needed to prioritize intensity in the gym. This means that I needed to take every single set close to or to failure. I also made sure that I wasn't doing too much volume in my workouts, because I wouldn't have the calories to recover from them. This means I wasn't doing 15 to 20 sets per muscle group every single time I worked out. Instead, I split those sets up between 2 working days in each week. And this helped me get the most out of my training, allowing me to actually recover from my workouts. As for cardio, I would do 30 minutes walking on a treadmill at an incline of 12 and speed of 3. This is called slow steady state cardio, and it is the best way for you to burn fat and keep the muscle that you are trying to build. After my program was created, I needed to get my nutrition on track because that's the most important piece of the puzzle. In theory, nutrition is easy. All you need to do is eat the right amount of calories and get enough protein in to match your goals. However, this isn't as easy as it sounds. First, I needed to find my daily calorie goal. In order to do this, I went online and used a calorie calculator. This gave me my maintenance calories. All I need to do now is subtract 500 from that number, and that's gonna put me into a calorie deficit. A calorie deficit is what you need to lose 1 to 2 pounds per week. From here, all I needed to do was make sure that I was getting the right foods in to meet my calorie and protein goals. On this cup, my protein goal is 1.2 grams per pound of lean mass. This equated to around 170 grams of protein per day. Now, that's all great, but how did I go about actually doing this? One way you can do this is download MyFitnessPal and track everything that you're eating throughout the day. Make sure that you're hitting your calorie and protein goals. However, this takes a lot of time and effort, and I didn't want to spend that much time getting this done. So instead, I decided to make my own meal plan consisting of 1 day of eating, and I stuck to that. I did this by picking out some good protein, carb, and veggie sources, plugged them into MyFitnessPal, and created a day eating that matched my calorie and protein goals, and I just stuck to that every single day. All of these meals were weighed out by the gram, and I did this using a food scale to make sure that it was all on point. I also made sure that all of these meals could be cooked in bulk because it saved me a lot of time and effort since I only needed to cook twice a week instead of 3 to 4 times a day. Aside from breakfast, of course, which I cooked in the mornings, because let's face it, if you're heating up your eggs in the microwave, you're nasty. Now, this all sounds great in theory, but what happened when I got sick of the foods that I was eating? Well, that's the easy part. I went and ate something else because it's really not that deep. All I had to do was on that day, track everything I ate and made sure that it met my calorie and protein goals. Keep in mind, this is the way that I did it, but you don't have to eat the same foods every single day. You can eat whatever you want, just make sure that the amounts and the food choices match your protein and calorie goals. It's that simple. Now that everything was prepared, it's time for the fun part. Everything was going great. I was hitting my workout and nutrition goals. I'd lost 10 pounds in the first month. I was posting to my channel consistently, and I was improving and ranking up in Valorant. I had taken my level 1 account all the way up to Ascendant, and it had me feeling amazing about the challenge, like I could actually do what I set out to do. But then, disaster struck. I ended up with severe directional vertigo, which made it feel like the entire world was spinning around me and I couldn't focus on anything. So much so that I ended up not being able to work out at all, and I deranked my account all the way down to Diamond 1.
Fail.
Great, I'm back to square one. I felt depressed, and I honestly just didn't want to do the challenge anymore. I laid in my bed and contemplated why the hell I even started this in the first place. What was I thinking? The universe was out to get me. There's no way I could actually make this happen. I wasn't built for this. I'm never gonna be good enough to hit Radiant. I'll never look like the people on Fit Talk. And I most definitely didn't have the potential in me to be something great. Or at least that's what I was telling myself. But again, I took a hard, long look in the mirror and said, fuck that. I can make this happen. I can become something great. I can achieve whatever I put my mind to. I just need to stop being such a pussy. And just like that, I was back at the challenge. It's been about 6 months now since I started this journey, and I'm still going strong. I'm down 22 pounds, and I'm looking better than I ever have. I also took my account to Immortal 1. Let's go, I'm back on track, baby. Simply because I have now figured out a routine that actually works for me and one that I can be consistent with. And this all happened through good old trial and error, by coming up with a plan and adjusting as I go. Now, don't get me wrong, there have been setbacks. There are days where I don't want to go to the gym, there are days I don't want to eat the foods that I have to, and there are also days I don't want to make content or play any video games. However, as I got further along this journey, my mindset shifted and I figured out the most important thing in all of this. Self-improvement is not a sprint, it is a marathon. There will be hard days, there will be days when you don't get much done, and there's also going to be days where you feel like giving up. But instead of wallowing in self-pity like a little sissy, when these days happen, look at them as a necessary break to allow you to keep running this marathon you're on, and then get right back after it the next day. This is why finding a balance between improving yourself and improving at the games you play is so important. If you try to just go every single day, burnout is inevitable, and when this happens, it's going to make you feel like giving up. And in fact, that's what a lot of people do. So instead, what I learned is, by making a plan of attack that allows you to get everything you need done in the most time-efficient way, while understanding, while allowing
that you want,
while still allowing yourself to take breaks and understanding that the journey is not going to be easy, but it will be rewarding, is what's going to help you find a balance between improving at the games you love and improving your health at the same time. Listen, I'm not perfect and I never will be, but I'm here to tell you, if I can make this happen, you can too. All you need to do is follow the steps that I took and implement them into your own schedule, stay persistent, and understand that this is going to take some time, so most importantly, enjoy the process while you're in it. By doing this, you can and you will transform yourself inside of the game and in your everyday life. If you want some help getting started on your self-improvement journey, you can go ahead and download my free ebook. It's in the description down below. It's going to outline every step you need to take in detail to start improving your gameplay and yourself as well. Also, if you want to improve your in-game performance and reach your dream rank, you can go ahead and check out this video next.